Yeah, you probably should be like a huge perfectionist because, like, typically, at least, you know, when you get good scores, you're always gonna be like, oh, but this one photo is not really quite good, or maybe even sucks, you know? That is, that's something you're often gonna run into. Well, not just often, you're pretty much always going to run into it. It's like there's probably only like a few scenes where that could maybe be true, and we're only talking about like maybe a handful. But I don't think that should really hold you back to at least try the game out. It's not like being a perfectionist all of a sudden means that now nothing can't be fun anymore. Dang it. You're also gonna have to deal with, you know, mistiming photos. It's just gonna happen. Yeah, for me, like if you miss nice shots, you almost always kill the run right there. So that's like 1/3 of your score gone on a single photo, which is almost always a death sentence. Yeah, like I do reset if it's like first or second, but like when I get far enough, I just try to finish it because I don't really finish a lot of runs. It's like per session I finish maybe a handful of runs because the fourth and fifth photo are very difficult to survive. If it was like a scene where I just finish runs all the time, then yes, I would reset. Or, you know, sometimes I just reset out of reflex because it didn't feel good and I'm immediately like, nope, reset. But runs in this game are so short that it doesn't really matter. least usually it doesn't. I've definitely played harder scenes where finishing a run is like, you know, it might not even happen in a whole session. And when I say a whole session, I mean like, I don't know, something around 3 hours. Of course, you also have to deal with the fact that, you know, these are IL-based things. So you're already going to be dealing with a lot of more optimized gameplay. And you probably do know that pretty well, given that you've also done a lot of Sonic Heroes ILs, as I've noticed from your channel. So you're gonna be like resetting all the time, and everything needs to basically go just right. You can't afford any mistakes. Or at least not a mistake that you would immediately notice. And yeah, you just said it. Because they're single scenes, you get perfectionistic very, very quickly. But yeah, that's kind of like the nature of IL-based runs. And you know, like, it can also be easy to find yourself just getting stuck, you know? It's not like long form runs where, you know, if something goes wrong, usually you can still, you know, redeem it because longer runs aren't as optimized. But here you don't have that, you don't have that luxury. Of course, that also kind of depends on how good you are and kind of your grind sets. Because for me, like, a lot of the scenes I do, I try to go for world records. And at least so far, like, there haven't, like, been a lot of scenes where I do actually try to play them, but I just don't really feel it. So I just end up, like, just doing a really butchered run or just quitting altogether. Like, there was one Byakuran scene in this game where that's like a bunch of thick lasers and it's like really tight, and I just found it too obnoxious, so I just kind of did a mediocre score, and that's about it with both Aya and Hatate. Wow, okay. Best by 36, and that was a 1.47 nice shot, so it could have actually been better. Funny thing about this game is that this is, I think, the only game in the series where you can PB by less than 10 points. There's that plus 36. So that's 63. Yeah, like this game does have some scores that are like just really, really difficult to beat. Like I think mainly CKT's scores are like that. Like they require some like ridiculous execution or super high precision or something like that. And well, when it comes to shoot the bullet, then you have EX scores, and EX is like the Yusuke of photo games, so you know you're gonna have a very uphill battle if you want to even think about beating any of those scores. And he has been playing Shoot the Bullet since 2008, and he's still playing to this day. Although, like, the last time he played, it has been a while ago. But not, like, more than a year or something. Like, the last time probably was, like, I don't know, maybe several months, half a year, something like that. I don't quite remember. The difference between Yusuke and EI is the Twitter feed. Yeah, well, I don't really think Yusuke is that active to begin with. Like, when it comes to Toho stuff, he only plays during TWC. Like, he did Phantasm. He came back to do Phantasm, and his current record actually has a diff in it, or like a border break. So it's like, you know, he improves the score, but it can go way higher if he actually grinded for it. But he doesn't. Also, why did I reset that one? Oops. I saw 116 and my brain went 106. I reset anything that's below 110. Like, that's also the thing, like, when you get PBs that are good enough, then you're really gonna have to start resetting a lot on the early photos. Like, I do need to have... I do need to have pretty strong photos at this point. It's like, I think now if I want a PB, I can afford to have like one bad photo. The rest have to be like either good or great. Yeah, I watched RB's record earlier today. He did a new, I think the new strat on Sagume's, I don't know what the spell is called, but like the one with the familiars spawning in a circle. I think that was a new strat, and then he also did a new strat on Pristine Lunacy, where you actually like bomb shield through lasers a whole lot, so you can spawn Grace like 3/4 of the lasers that do still remain. So that was cool. There's still new strats. I bet 4 billion is gonna happen. Although I think like the limit right now, or well, at least the limit a while ago was below 4 billion, at least in terms of what's realistic according to him. But maybe that will change. It's like probably what he has right now is pretty close to the limit. Grace, oh yeah, Grace Inferno, that's Clown Piece's firewall spell. Yeah, I saw that too. Like you only cancel bullets at the top and leave some bullets for you to like spawn Grace, or not spawn Grace, but like I don't even know what they call it, but you know, the 5 Grace. I also saw Leo get 621 mil with Sanai on Extra in TD on stream. Like he already beat the record just with a 1 miss run, when 1 miss is minus 40 million. Yet he still beats records with that. And then he beat the record by like almost 40 million afterwards with a no miss. Some crazy shit. And that happened today, by the way. Like he's been absent from Toho stuff for a long time, it seemed, but he only recently came back. Like sometime before TBWC, I think. That was almost bad. The stars like to get in the way so much, man. And no, he did not share the replay because it's Leo. But it has been recorded at least. I don't really know if there were new strats. I mean, there would almost have to be. Like, I don't know how else you do it. I also know that IDTN was like, I give up, because he held most of the, or at least 2 of the extra records. And he just crushed, like, both of his. Because I think Raven was like 580 mil, now it's like 602. And the Sunday record was low 580, now it's 621. And he actually wanted to get 631, which is the Yomu record. And also, interestingly, Sanai scores higher than Raven. That is a new one. Because I thought Sanai was just kind of garbage, but I guess when it's like a short run, then Sanai barely wins versus Reimu. I mean, you know, that does happen with some games. I mean, DDC is the same, where Marasabi has like a tremendous advantage. Mars at 600 mil. Yeah. Yeah, I assume we're still talking about TD extra. Yeah. Leo had, I think, 610 at some point, but he also didn't share that one. Now the record is what, like 640-ish? Or no, 660. I think Leo had 660 actually. I think that's what it is, and then Morph barely beat it. But I have a feeling that Leo is gonna come after that record soon, because at least when he got the 621 with Sanai, he was already practicing spells with Yo. So that record from Morph is probably gonna be beaten pretty soon. And then all that there's left is the Marisa record, and then Leo is going to have every single record, at least sort of, in the whole game. But a lot of them are unverified, and we don't even know the exact score or the exact date, so we can't register them on Maribel's site. So, you know, it is what it is. It's like on his Twitch page, we can see like his fake scores per category, but not like anything else. It's like, you know, 6.0102 or something, you know. Thanks to Morph, we do at least know his Reimu score from Extra now. We didn't know that before, or when it happened. Because yeah, Morph is around. I don't know if he has any plans on playing soon, but I did see him be active in Lemona's server recently. You should probably also be in that server. Like, I don't think you are, right? It's an invite-only server, and only specific people get to be in there. But it's mostly a scoring server, and it has both English and Japanese players, or you know, Western and Japanese players. The server from Aisu Lemona, like, he has his own server that is specifically made for score players. I think it has it is pretty sizable in terms of like numbers, in terms of like members, but and then there's like a chat group for every game, every Windows game, and then also one for side games individually. But I don't think you're in it. But you are a score player, so... You know, I could ask Lemona if he wants to share an invite with you, if you want it. Because I do think quite a bit of discussion takes place there that you wouldn't really know about. Or, you know, when it comes to like, you know, discussion of things or like strats or like runs in general. Yeah, that was gonna be bad. Star Wars in the way. It sucked. Yeah, I'll try to ask for an invite, but I don't. Well, I would probably just have to share it with you if I'm given one. Like it's basically not like a server that you just simply get access to, you know. Like that was kind of the point with the server, to not like have like people in there, or not too many people in there that don't score. Like I think I only joined it like, I don't know, maybe a little less than a year ago myself. So, and I didn't even know the server existed. So the server probably has been around since like, I don't know, 2019 maybe, maybe even earlier. And you know, when you join, you can probably just mute any game that you don't care about, because there's like, you know, a channel for all of them. Like I personally only have, I have unmuted Great Fairy Wars, FW, and side games. I mean, there are some people that aren't score players, but for the most part, it is score players. At least, you know, as far as I know. It's not like I know everybody who's there. Like, there's plenty of Japanese players in there that I don't even recognize, maybe because they're like LNN players, or are using like a different name that I just don't recognize, etc. Or just, you know, players who don't have as much of a footprint, so to speak. Alright, it's time to focus. I don't think I finished the run yet. But I'm not going to be streaming for very long today, because I haven't really been able to stream until like, well, later than usual. Whatever. Also, the reason why I'm not resetting is because on the last two photos, I can definitely improve my best quite a bit still. So I want to see if I can get that to happen. Especially photo 5, I think can still improve a lot, but it's like difficult to even get the photo to happen to begin with. And then also, I end up compromising sometimes because I'm afraid of dying. And also, again, like the runs are so short that it really doesn't matter. Like you don't really lose that much time on committing to a run that's dead. Plus, it might also help you a little bit to get more used to the later photos. Because on this scene, at least, every photo gets progressively harder. That my first impression of that is that it seems kind of cheap. Or it's like that just makes the in-game time faster if you kill yourself to go back to your checkpoints. Huh. I'm not too familiar with the game. Like, I've seen some speedruns of it, but I think it has been too long for me to really remember much of anything. I remember watching a marathon run from GamePro, I think. And GamePro was also an old Rayman 3 runner, which is a game that I did run. Well, run is in big air quotes, but I was more of a glitch hunter there. But I think by the time that I arrived at the scene, he was already kind of not playing anymore, or hardly at all, so... Yeah, G Pro. Yeah, I think he also ran Sonic Adventure, and he was also really good at that one. Unless I'm, like, thinking of someone else, but I think he ran that too at an event before. But that was also, like, a similarly long time ago. I mean, he might still be running at GDQs, I don't know, but I basically stopped watching GDQs after, like, 2016 because they just became boring. Like, there were only, like, a select few runs that I would watch because someone was talking about them, like either like some task runs or like actual shmup runs that were being played. Like, I think the shmup runs are usually pretty hype, especially when you see the chat just explode. That's always nice to see. I think Gus's Futari run was like the most legendary run probably. Especially when you listen to it with the Schmug Discord's reactions. Like the fact that even they are freaking out should tell you something about how crazy that game is. And even when I look at it, just like, bruh. I know Pearl was in that fall too. Trying to think who else was in there. I think Extruder was in there too. I think. I don't know if there's anybody else that I recognize. I forget if Moglar was in there. I'm not really sure. Okay, I keep mistiming. I'm clearly not gaming enough. Sometimes you get like stuck in the wrong timing, and then you have to like get yourself to adjust again. That's something that you're gonna have to deal with in this game too. Like sometimes you slightly change your execution in a way that makes you basically make mistakes that you have to fix yourself. You have to fix your muscle memory. I know there was one scene where I just could not fix my muscle memory and had to give up. That was like one of the first scenes, I think, that I tried. So things will probably be different now. Because there is kind of a learning curve with like the controls in this game. Like you do have to... Like the way how you aim certain photos is something that you really need to get a good feel for. And it doesn't just come automatically. Like mainly with like photos where you aim backwards. Because it's like very easy to move unfocused before you actually activate the frame, which completely warps the angle of your photo and that just kills score. Like that immediately kills your angle bonus at least. Oh, thought I was gonna be dead. Dang it. That aftermath after the before photo is still kind of really rough. But technically PB face, but would have required a very high photo. I do still have to play Mushi. I just tend to procrastinate with trying out arcade shmups. Like, they just don't feel the same, you know, for one thing, but I should at least try them at some point. It's just more a matter of what are the, what options do I even have to be able to play them? And what versions are better, etc. Because I don't really know that kind of stuff. I didn't even remember that you have records in that game. It's like somewhere in my head I remember it, but it's like I feel like that's like wrong information that's in my head. Some weird form of gaslighting that's happening. I'm pulling information from a parallel universe. Bruh. No, this is not Super Mario 64 because I'm not doing anything in half an A press. So I can't say it's only a half. Ooh. Okay, well, at least that was good. Right. I guess the biggest equivalent to BLJ through bullets is just, you know, the bullets going so fast that on one frame they're in front of you, the next frame behind you. That one Toyohime spell, Lunatic, actually makes that possible. Sometimes when you point blank raise those bullets, sometimes the bullets just go through you because they go so fast. But I don't think that really has any impact on the score or anything. It's just that sometimes it happens if you position yourself just right. Yeah, there's also Bravery, except that, you know, it's the player character doing the zipping through shit. Except, you know, that's basically human impossible. I think the only time her ability is being used is for, like, POCing, I think. Like, never for, like... I think it's also being used to graze through bullets right after a bomb has deactivated, so you can, like, get those iframes. And that's basically about it. Like, I do at least know that this is something that happens on Sane's second mid spell on extra. I forget if it's ever used in main game. Well... Kyoko's second spell. For some reason, I'm not remembering what that spell even is. I remember the first and the third, the second one for some reason I forgot. Prize. Wait, really? Are those bullets so fast? I mean, you don't graze them because there's like no points, but... I don't know, I feel I'm not immediately convinced that those bullets are even fast enough. You know what a better example would be? Here's the better example. This one. the score run actually does abuse the fact that the bolt can go through if you're positioned just right, so... And even more if it's a TAS, because I did do a TAS of that scene. And honestly, that TAS is actually kind of bad. Because CLR has some photos that score higher, so I clearly messed up. There's not really that much you can do to make the score better though, it's like mainly macro bonus. I do like this. I do like the scene too because of its uniqueness. And you know, it's also the kind of scene that could never work in like a regular game. And that's also what makes photo games so cool, is because you can have spells that, you know, in a game where you just shoot forward, it would be just really dumb. Like a spell like this probably would not work. Like, I know this is like very similar to the IN spell, but you know, it does have some differences to it that make it a lot harder to deal with. Like, also Marisa moves around a lot, so that's also a thing here. Of course, that's not really unique, but you know, certain patterns would be too annoying in a standard format game. And of course, not every scene is like that, but definitely good amounts. Always. And that was an unlucky photo. Oh well. So the run was basically gonna be dead anyway. Well, and that was completely wrong. I have no idea how good that photo could have been, so yeah, whatever. But hey, at least I finished the run, sort of. I did something today. I will stop soon though, because again, I started late, so I kind of want to keep this stream a bit shorter. I want to see if I can at least get one more finish run, or like 2 to last photo or something. But I'm not gonna dwell too long on it. I suppose I have been a little more tired than normally. Yeah, I should take that one. Still kind of don't know. You know, like further away from Marissa where I should aim or not. I mean, I suppose even if I did aim and it wasn't necessary, it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. By the way, after 3 photos, the bare minimum that I want to see is 400k. And I had 409 in this case, so there was potential, but... And then also, into the last photo, I need, like, at least... like 710. Or not 710, 610. You know, if I need a photo that's like 280k. That was almost mistimed. Whoa. Okay, well that was at least good. That was a good last photo at least for once. But photo 4 kind of suffered. Photo 1 was alright, but I kind of messed it up. Photo 2 is high. Photo 3 is good. Photo 5 is good. And photo 4 was honestly not even that bad, it's just slightly mistimed. But I mean, my best is like 210, so that'll be a lot higher. Actually, very early in my grind, I actually got a run that was like so much better. But then I died at the end. Like, I can't show it because like I thought it was just such a crazy pace. But you know, it goes to show like if you get like the God run, you could like score way above what you normally get. What the hell was I doing there? You can clearly see that I'm not used to the scene yet if I'm doing something like that. By the way, on photo 1, it's RNG based where you get the yellow shot bonus, and that's like 2,100 points that you just instantly gain. And you know, if you get the yellow shot bonus, then you can also assume that the base value is going to be higher, so you do get a substantially higher score. I think on the last two photos, I need to start doing the little quarter circle turn, like to approach Marissa. I think I need to start doing it later because I think the problem is that when I do it early, I have to go through like a line of stars that just kill me. So I think I need to change that. Like on the earlier photos, I can get away with not doing that, but yeah, I dared stupidly. So like if I had a great photo there, like 280, that could have been 918. Would have crushed the record right there. But yeah, that is my best pace so far. I've had like at least one more run that had a 630, but I think it was a low 630. But you know, even that would be well within range to beat the record if I just get a good last photo. And also, like, you know, when you compare this to like what my best is right now, it's like -7 on the first photo, -8, -3, minus nothing, you know? Yeah, and this was on the 20th, so, and this one is very old. I need to improve this one, clearly, but it just hasn't happened. At least today I did beat this best twice. Last session I had no improvements at all. And I'm probably sitting at like 2,500 photos right now. Yeah, well, more than that. Also, yeah, the yellow shot bonus is based on the number of yellow bullets that you have in the photo. I don't remember how many you need, but in the first photo, it probably mostly comes down to like the bullets that you see in the bottom left corner right here, because that's like the middle point of where all the stars kind of come together. Like, I think it mostly comes down to that. But I don't think you can miss the the yellow shot bonus after that. And if you could, it would be astronomically unlucky, probably. I mean, and there's like some other like luck factors, you know, just, you know, there's the number of stars in general, there's yellow shot on photos 1. The number of familiars can make a difference because sometimes you can get one extra familiar depending on how your photo is positioned, but I don't think you can really control that because the familiars move too fast and they might also not be positioned statically. And even if it was, it would still be like stupid precise because you would have to make the same photo like from the exact same position and also time the exact same way. So I don't think that's really gonna happen. And also the rate at which the blue bullets fire, I think there's also some randomness to that. Because sometimes you can just get a bunch of familiars in the photo and they just don't shoot anything. Like this photo right here, you can see new bullets just barely being fired, and that's kind of what you want. But like that, as far as I know, it's just all luck. And then macro bonus you can optimize, but there's a lot of risk to it. You can actually get this macro bonus to 1,000, and it's really risky, but I do it a lot, and I really shouldn't, but... And then risk bonus doesn't really matter, that's also kind of... It varies a lot still, but yeah. I think the highest that you can reasonably expect to see is like 800. I think that's the highest I've seen, but... Like, especially for later photos, it doesn't really matter that much. It's like, if we're talking about like a few hundred points in base value more, you know, that translates to maybe, you know, 2,000 points on your total score, because all multipliers together, I think is like times 7.3 or something. Something like that. I don't quite remember, but... And then with the nice shot, you can mistime it a little bit, but you prefer to just get 1.5s every time. And then also the reason why you don't take photos while Marissa's rotating clockwise is because the familiars actually go away sooner. Like, Marissa actually stops and turns around sooner, and likewise the familiars also go away sooner, so you can't actually take that photo. And no, not one bullet is actually never 1 base points. I mean, there's definitely not 48,000 bullets in this photo, I can tell you that, but it's basically an arbitrary number per bullet. Like, generally speaking, in the early game, bullets are worth less points, but then later in the game, those exact same bullet types could give you more. And then in this game, at least, it also matters in what state the bullet is in, and sometimes also how long the bullet has been on screen for. Like, how many frames it has been active. Like, bullet clouds, for example, in this game, give you less base value. And then, like, I think it depends on the scene, but at least with some scenes, if bullets have been on screen for a longer period of time, they can give you, like per frame, up to, like, a certain amount, they can give, like, I don't know, up to, like, 10% more base value. Like, there's like some really wacky stuff going on with, like, some scenes. Like, for example, in this scene right here, you deliberately have to time the nice shot late because these kunais give more base value if you time the photo later. And that ends up outpacing the reduction of the nice shot multiplier, so like, that really matters on that scene. And then there's also, like, in Shoot the Bullet, for example, bullet clouds are so extremely important because they give almost 3 times the base value. So in Shoot the Bullet, you actually want bullet clouds, like, extremely. But I think in this case, like, this scene has no bullet clouds. Like, I think these blue stars always spawn, like, basically instantly. I mean, I do kind of like it. It does give some depth to the game, even if it's, like, nonsensical. Like, in this, like, this is probably the most fucked up one out of all of them that I know. In this scene, the mini suikas are worth a certain amount of base value, and, you know, the base value of the mini suikas, I think, is like 1,410. Then these micro bullets are worth 66. But then after you take the first photo, every mini suika that suika spawns from that point onward, including the bullets that they shoot, are no longer worth those base values. Instead, they are worth half that amount. So what do you want to do? You want to delay the first photo as much as possible, so you can maximize the number of mini suikas that were fired during photo 1, so you can then speedrun the rest of the photos to include as many of those photo 1 mini suikas and bullets as possible. And that actually makes this scene easier, because before you would have to, like, stall every photo, but now you don't do that anymore because it actually scores less. And that is actually something I found out through tasking this game, so I'm very happy that we discovered that, because, like, not only does that shoot up the potential so much, but it also makes the scene easier. But by easier, it's still one of the hardest scenes in the game. In fact, I would not even be surprised if it is the hardest scene in the game, because you can basically make this scene as impossible as you want, almost. Like, it becomes so hard that even in a task, you're gonna struggle. Like, if you frame by frame this game, and you want to like dodge everything, you would have even then a very hard time. So it's basically impossible. Like it would be like it's basically TAS only at a certain point if you wait enough waves. But you can't like stall infinitely because, well, one thing, there's a limited timer, and also the mini squeakers despawn after like 50 to 60 seconds. Well, there's no previous task, like there's only one of them that I made. And I did stall on that scene, but I waited until like 60 seconds before, you know, the mini squeakers would start despawning anyways. I don't even know if I can like easily pull this up, but let's see. Task replays. I don't really know which is which. Actually, no, I probably don't even have it right now on my thing. EX-4, I think I did 6-4 earlier. 12-4. 8-6. No, I don't think this is right. 8-5. Oh, here we go. I'm probably gonna have to, yeah, change the file name. I mean, this is a task that like could be optimized a lot because like the amount of variables that this scene has is so utterly ridiculous that I think it would be like, I think this is like one of those categories or like one of these runs where you almost would need like an AI to like figure out the best run possible, you know, like a machine learning algorithm. Like that's just how crazy this run would be to TAS. But yeah, like around like the 60-second mark or so, these guys would start respawning. And like this is one of those scenes that could score much, much higher if you basically get a super player dodger to play this game, play this scene. Because like I have the record in this scene right now, but like I'm not a good dodger, so. And the only reason that I have the record is because I found that new strat. Because before Chum had the record, and it might even have been a record where he missed a nice shot too. I remember that's, I think, the only record that at that time had a missed nice shot. But yeah, you're gonna see that every photo from this point on is gonna be worth less, and there's just, it's because of the reduced base value that happens on photo 2 to 4. Oh yeah, actually I remember that Kopia, I think, did a task of this one too, now that I think about it. Or maybe he didn't, I forgot. Like, he did a bunch of, like, random photo game tasks, but they all suck, so. But yeah, like, I feel like a run like this could still be way, way higher. The UFO task is no longer available. Okay. Well, I should still have it, because I saved a lot of these replays, so, That might just be because like his link, like the link that goes to is no longer valid. Like I'm pretty sure he still has like pretty much all of his tasks on his Google Drive that he does have publicly available. Also, yeah, I did test EX-2 just so I could test some stuff, and this score is not even that good. But it also doesn't really account for what RNG I get, so... It's empty. He probably put them in a different drive. But yeah, like, I don't think I can do anything about that right now. I mean, I can like update the task page on the wiki, but I still kind of want Maribel to make a task page. Like, he does have it planned, but it's probably something that's like low priority. But yeah, like I do have the replay. Like, we can just put it back somewhere, probably. I should probably actually just upload it to the wiki, the replay file itself, and just have it there locally. I think that would probably be a better idea. Alright, I'm gonna stop for now because I've been going for long enough. I'm gonna be back probably on Wednesday. And on Monday I'll probably do a tiny bit of off-screen grinding. I mean, I could maybe stream it too, but then I'm probably gonna not be doing it for very long. Like, even less time than today.